and welcome back to the Land of Olympus. And welcome to the first episode of Brain Dumping with Dave. So, little
Hello.
context. I am with Reap. Reap Shot, the beautiful,
Hello.
the chaos.
Reapshot YT. Or actually, no, it's not Reapshot YT. Come to my channel. Check me out. Reapshot Gaming.
Yes.
Selfless promotion. Selfless plug.
Selfless
Or
plug.
shameless, not selfless.
Selfless
100%
plug would be
selfish.
my end doing the thing.
Yeah. But,
Selfless plug, go check that one out. But, context. Brain Dumping with Dave, no one here is named Dave, obviously. The reason we say Brain Dumping with Dave is because ADHD was renamed recently by the ADHD community, Dave! Because
also,
God,
like, for all the fucking...
Dave.
Yeah, for all the people in the comments, they're gonna be like, scientifically, yeah, we don't care, shut up. As a person who is actually diagnosed with ADHD, shut up. We call it Dave. The reason that it was called ADHD is ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, which commonly gets confused with ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder, because they sound so similar.
And are also very, very similar to the point where they're practically the same.
But, well, no. ADHD in a word is chaos, but in a pure form. A lot of the issues you struggle with when you have ADHD is your brain just kind of doesn't create.
Your brain just
dopamine
does what the hell
the
it
normal
wants.
way. It doesn't create dopamine the normal way. That's one of the many issues that ADHD people struggle with. It's just it's why we follow. That's why we have the saying. Wow, I'm struggling. The saying, follow the serotonin, because indeed what we do is follow the serotonin, because that is the chemical in the brain that develops dopamine. Dopamine being the chemical in the brain that creates happiness. If you want to look at this from a scientific perspective. Basically, our brain don't work right.
Say hello to Blue and other Blue. This is Blue. They're Blue.
We have
Blue.
The murder boys.
They're also blue. We have two babies we need to name. One of them's Periwinkle, one of them's Baby Blue. All that we have left is I think a singular adult that we need to name. So down in the comment section, wherever you want, just shoot out a random blue name. Other blue is on the table. However, it can change. It is subject to change. So
basically, we don't know what the hell to name it. Put a name down below. No, but in all seriousness, though.
Other blue.
But with ADHD, though, going back to that topic,
yes.
Its official thing is ADHD, which stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. But it is more than just a attention disorder or a hyperactivity disorder, because here's the facts: you can actually have ADHD and have none of the hyperactivity symptoms. It's more than just a hyperactivity disorder, and that's a problem with why a lot of the community itself, the people that have it and talk and hang out, because we all kind of just chill with each other. We don't really. There's no reason for us to be like uppity at each other. Like, you know, we all have the same issue. Kind of just agreed that we're just gonna call it Dave, and I don't remember entirely what Dave stands for, so we're not gonna go into that exactly at the moment. But basically, the gist of it is, hey, you want to be able to focus? So do we, and we can't.
And we cease existence for a while.
Like, fucking...
Iron for that? Bro, what? I thought you just needed stone sticks.
Is... In a word, it's... like I said, chaos. Your brain kind of just goes with the flow, does whatever. Follow the serotonin, follow the dopamine, just, do what you gotta do.
Oh,
do the things that make you happy. It makes people with ADHD have a higher, like, the chances, like if you look at the statistics with people with depression, you'll notice that those with ADHD actually are more likely to become depressed or have chronic depression than those without. due to the way the brain processes and creates the chemicals that cause happiness and things. Because if ADHD people are forced into something they do not enjoy, they're going to not have a good time. They're not going to want to do the thing that they're doing. They're going to very much wish that they could be away from it, doing something else, something that they love to do, instead of whatever it is in that moment that they are actively doing.
Which causes a lot of times to disassociate, just completely zone out, as it's called, but just completely disassociate from the entire Earth for like
Just fucking
a good few minutes.
F4 out of reality. And it also causes a lot of stress. Those with ADHD have more likely to become overtly stressed by tasks they do not enjoy. Now, people have tasks they don't enjoy, and they do them because it's like, okay, that's what we have to do. Da 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 da. You know, you hear that said all the time. You know, and I have my own personal argument onto that, but we're not that's not what I'm really wanting to get into here. I'm kind of more looking into some facts. It's just people with ADHD are more likely to be depressed and get overly stressed out over tasks and things they do not enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we mentioned you mentioned the disassociation. That is another issue that people with ADHD struggle with. It is where your brain proceeds to like not connect properly with the real world around you. It can cause major issues for you. It really can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all around not really pleasant. And it sucks. As someone
Big
who
Brain.
has,
Yes, his name is spelled Brian. He ended up jumping out and then jumping back in, so I put him in a bucket and named him Big Brain. But he is a fish, so he cannot spell, so he's Big Brian.
But yes. But you know, as a person who has like severe issues with dissociation, I have also
Agreed.
dyslexia.
Dyslexia.
It is dyspia.
It's no word good.
No good word. And that is just one of the many issues that comes along. It has the potential chance. It doesn't every time to come along with ADHD. Dyslexia is a very common thing for those with ADHD to struggle with. And that's kind of a common theme I've noticed with those with similar issues. Another fact that people might not know is that ADHD is actually officially confirmed to be a part of autism. It is on the autism spectrum. Which, I mean, when you look at it objectively, it makes sense. That's with what, like, you know, the processing issues and everything, and like how people react when they have to change and everything like that. And, you know, all those things kind of inherently kind of make sense. It's like how autism can make someone antisocial, like just like normal autism without excluding like Asperger's or something like that. Autism can just make an individual antisocial because it's stressful for them. It's like ADHD is the opposite of that. It has the same issues as normal autism, just with the inherent need to either have minimal human contact or all the human contact. And that's just kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Minimal or none. Because those with the issue typically need to be able to talk to somebody to get their ideas out there, to get their brain to release the happy chemical.
A lot of times, and this is something a lot of people don't know, if someone like with ADHD talks about body doubling, fun fact, this is actually a thing, it's when someone else is there and you can complete a task easier. What do I mean by that?
Yes.
ADHD people find it so much more simple to do tasks like cleaning a room, or picking things up, or playing a game, or something like that, because there's someone else there to talk to and make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's not a matter of like the other person doing anything, because 9 times out of 10, the other individual is just kind of sitting there, just existing in the same space as the person with ADHD.
Even
But
on
what is
call,
going on
it's
is,
so much easier.
even then, call does have its limitations. Being in person is a bit easier for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, nowadays, that being in person has its limitations because, COVID being a thing and our whole world getting turned upside down. Take a moment. If you sit right there, tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air. ADHD in the nutshell, right there, everyone.
And there is your ADHD moment of the day. We're probably going to have 700 more during this stream alone. But, continuing.
But, yeah. Anyway, continuing on forward.
Alright.
Continuing on forward. ADHD moments is what we call them. It's just your brain goes off in a hyperfixated stance. Speaking of hyperfixation, you'll notice that those with ADHD are more likely to, it happens in people without it, but are more likely and more extremely prone to hyperfixation. And hyperfixation can be a good and a bad thing, but it can also have a very negative effect if it is ignored by the people around them. If someone with ADHD is very excited and they are talking to you about a topic that they are very excited in, you'll notice they get very emotional about it, and ignoring them or treating them with hostility or kind of making fun of them while they're doing that can be extremely harmful, extremely negative to that person's psyche, and among other things. And it can actually make someone with ADHD, with the issues that we have, that we have, shut down. And it's one of those kind of things. It's like, if you have an ADHD friend or family member, the best way to tell them to calm down is to kind of slowly bring it to their attention that, hey, can we chill out a bit? Or, hey, can we maybe talk about this a little bit later? I'm currently trying to do something. Or find a polite way to tell them, like, hey, I don't have the ability to
ways. I love my mom. She helped figure out how to deal with my hyperfixation and my oh my god, this and this. She goes,
which is a very hard thing to do.
Hey, hang on, calm down. I'm doing something, but keep going. Encourage them to keep talking, but tell them to talk quieter.
Yeah, calm down, slow your pace. Just tell them oh yeah, continue, but hey, can we take it down, slow down a bit? Don't say take it down a notch, because that can be taken as if you're upset. Just be like, hey, can we slow down? This is a lot,
But do it in a nice tone. It's just hey, can we just
slow
a
down
little bit quieter.
Continue.
And that's an easy way to get one of your ADHD friends to be like, oh, okay, sorry. Anyway, as I was saying,
and you'll notice that people with ADHD will constantly either only ever stay on one task or never stay on any task, and that's just because of how the brain works with the issues we have. Our brain tells us to do everything. Sometimes there's times where it tells us to do nothing, and then there's times where it says, okay, this is the only thing you're allowed to focus on, this is the only thing you can process, think about, and talk about, which is a hyperfixation. And this is what you're going to do right here, right now, which failure to succeed in said goal can lead to worsened depression and mental state, among other things.
Here we go. Boom. Okay.
But as it is, it's just kind of how it always works out.
I need to clear up my inventory a little bit. I don't ever need those, at least not in a high amount.
By the way, if anybody's wondering what I'm doing, even though you can't see my perspective, you hear me talking, I am currently nether mining for 46 stacks.
Yes, you heard.
It's a tiny bit over, but it's better to get a little bit over than a little bit under. 46 stacks of ancient debris, not ingots, ancient debris, so that I can get the ingots to make a full netherite beacon in survival mode. Legitimately, I have no cheats. There are cheats on the server. They like with the keep inventory and everything like that.
But other than that, there's no cheats enabled. Wait, that's an edible. Okay, that's an edible fruit, edible vegetable,
consumable.
You guys can see on my screen there are a fuck ton of chests. Despite our rooms not being organized, sometimes we like everything in one spot where we can find certain things.
Speaking on organization, it's a common misconception that ADHD people are overtly messy, or they don't have a proper system. No, we have a system. We have it set up the way we do because those with ADHD struggle with a thing called object permanence. If we don't see it, chances are we probably won't remember it.
No, it does. If we don't see it, it doesn't exist. I.e.,
and that doesn't
out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly, and that doesn't only just count to like physical objects. That counts to people, places, and times, and dates, and like if we don't have it written down somewhere.
Dates, and memories, actually.
Yeah, if it's not talked about, if it's not written down somewhere, if there's not a picture or a video of it, if there's no way to possibly remember that memory in any way, shape, and or form other than just ourselves, chances are, unless it was something super, super meaningful, and even then, still a chance that we won't remember it, because object permanence is a bitch.
Yeah. That includes ding 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 trauma. Such as not talking about a certain topic for a while, forgetting it ever happened, and someone said, "Hey, yeah, how have you been since that incident?" Well, I nearly forgot, but, object permanence caused me to forget about it, thankfully.
Yeah, you forget, and then they mention it, and then it's like, okay, that's the only thing you have to focus on, because... Yeah, that's just how that works. And it's a very annoying thing.
Very commonly have anxiety because they hyperfixate on everything that's happening and or could happen,
and tend to just commonly overthink everything, anything, and everyone, and their emotions and their thoughts.
Yep.
When chances are the person they're thinking about probably doesn't have a goddamn thought behind their eyes. They're just there watching the ADHD one go mad, fucking crazy over the fact that skeletons are super powerful in Minecraft or some shit like that, just because I heard you killing a skeleton.
Yes. Or how annoying they are, or fucking
and
gas showing up at any moment. There we go. Okay, that's fixed. Where's your mine at in the nether again?
Okay, so you go there's little after you go through the portal, you'll know there's a little indents sections there's they're carved out.
Oh wait, yours. Caves. Okay, I gotta take the rail system then.
Yeah, you take the rail system, and it's in my nether portal. And if you not the entrance that goes towards the Crimson, but if you go somewhat towards the Soul Sand Valley, which is the opposite way of the portal. One way leads straight to the Crimson Forest biome, and the other one leads to a warped forest, or not a warped forest, a Soul Sand Valley. You'll notice that there's a little cave indentation in the ground somewhere, and I just dug down in that. And it's very easy to tell which of the two ways I've been because there's tunnels. Just pick out two of the opposite. Oh. I've already got 28, and for how long?
Blue, how'd you get over here? What the hell? Well, other Blue is just vibing over here, down in this area. Where's Blue then? How the hell did other Blue even get in here? Oh, wait, I think he walked.
Yeah, they do that. Oh, hello. Lava is a thing I hate.
Blues over there. Which makes me think I should just get rid of anything they can.
But moving on from topics, now that we've talked about ADHD quite a bit and have our spread plethora of information on that out. I feel like we can say that topic's pretty wrapped up.
Yeah. Next topic.
I wanted to get on to the topic of why do I do the things that I do in Minecraft? And you understand that, but let's give some context to the viewer base. So, one of the many projects I have, which Herpderp will show you momentarily when they get over there, is I am draining part of an ocean. Then digging a hole that goes straight down to the new bedrock layer. Not the deep slate, the bedrock, all the way down to the negative levels.
Yes.
And it is 64 by 64, which is a massive ass area.
Okay.
And I think it's over like 4 chunks, I believe. Well over 4 chunks actually. It's like, I think it's like 8.
I think it's 4 chunks worth.
It's 8 chunks in each square.
Wow. Jesus.
I think, if I remember correctly. So we'll say there's 4 squares in that chunk, and I'm pretty sure, because, hang on, each chunk is 16 by 16, and it's just 64 by 64. So it's like
redstone mining at some
I think
point.
it's like a 4 by 4 thing. So in total, there's like an actual total of 16 chunks probably, in the big border that I made.
Random little treasures in the railway system.
What'd you find?
Dropping. I ended up getting a bow and a golden helmet from a skeleton, so I just dropped it on the side of the railway. So, little presents for whoever goes through next.
Who knows?
Either it be me, you, or someone that was at my base or your base wanting to get to the other.
Totally not me going to be making a monorail system to every single base in the server. What do you mean? Even though the owner of the server doesn't play anymore.
But
I do think that's kind of funny. Emerald's Art, the owner of this server, decided, yes, we're gonna play on a little bit and then lose motivation because life sucks. Which is not a comment on them. It's just, they also have ADHD and autism and some other things. So it makes it hard to keep motivation.
Yes. They, at one point, hyperfixated, sorry, just realized it was off-center, hyperfixated on, building a fursuit. And then they hyperfixated on building because they just wanted to. Why? Because they could.
Because they can. ADHD does that.
Yes.
It's like, oh, hey, I can build this, yes,
Then
okay,
they thought, ooh, if I could build a fursuit, because they build partially a fursuit, they thought, ooh, maybe I could build a Springtrap suit.
A FNAF cosplay suit.
Or no, it wasn't Springtrap, it was Fredbear. For Halloween. Well, we never ended up getting to go to Halloween because work sucks and they didn't give me Halloween off.
And, also COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
Halloween this year was interesting. That's the next topic we could talk about, I guess, is how, after this, because what I've got to say isn't going to last long, is how COVID has affected everybody in life.
Oh
or at least
my god, yeah.
Us, with everything. And just for anybody that's wondering, no, you guys don't have to come to my channel for any content for this. This is most likely just going to remain on Herp's channel between me and Herpderp. That's pretty much it. I don't think I'm ever going to record or do anything during these times. It's just me kind of being here along for the ride.
Here it is.
There's the ocean thing that I'm working on.
64 by 64.
And for any of you Minecrafters out there who know how hard of an undertaking that is, I'm not using sponges, so that makes it just that much harder.
Yeah.
I am doing everything by hand. I'm not using any redstone machines. I'm not doing none of that. I'm using dirt and a shovel and doing this all by hand the hard way. Why? Because that's what Brain said to do. If you want to see the progress on that, you can occasionally check it out here, because occasionally Herp might check that out. But to really see the progress, you will have to go to my channel for that. Which, again, I will plug here just for that purpose to get that stated, is Reapshot Gaming. Specifically Reapshot Gaming. That's actually the name of the channel.
So is it a smaller hole, or is it... Wait. Because there's
It's
the
like a
way
little
to the
crevice,
redstone
and then there's
forest in one way.
It's like right in front of the portal. There's like a little like there's an area that looks like a natural spawn cave, like one of those areas, and you'll notice that there's just a fucking hole dug somewhere. Just look around inside that cave that you start out in from my portal, and eventually you'll find it. Yeah. It's a little janky at first, till a second, and then it gets normal.
Yeah. If you hear any clicking noises, I have popped in a candy senzu bean. Anyone who watches DBZ, get them, they're delicious. So did you go forward, or did you go to the side?
I don't know. Just pick a direction I haven't dug yet and then go.
Okay.
Or you can go down one of the paths a little way and then just split off and go on to dig into a wall sideways or something, or blast mine through a wall. Yeah, do things like that.
I'm sad I don't have a shovel.
I thought that through because there's so much fucking gravel and so sad. Anyway, but as to explaining why do I do the things that I do, everyone. I don't know. That's the question. We don't know. Even I don't know that. But the joke, everyone, chill, because I know there's just people freak out over this shit. The joke is that yes, I just hate myself that much that I will put myself through pointless, torturous action. Like right now, how am I obtaining the netherite for this netherite beacon? Which, by the way, this project's gonna take me like anywhere between 6 months and a year.
They're right next to each other.
Nice.
Mine and yours.
You sure?
Mm-hmm. Which means my crafting table is nearby, which means I can craft more beds. Yes.
Well, did you open up into an area where you had blast mined?
Yes.
Okay,
Into
I'm like
active blast mine.
Damn, I didn't realize how close I was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to actively make the fucking highway through hell. I'm on a highway to hell. But why do I do the things I'm doing? I'm mining the netherite by hand. I'm not using blast mining with TNT. Why? Because I don't fucking know. Again, follows along the joke. I just hate myself that much. I overcomplicate things that don't need to be complicated in any way because I can, and I do.
I was going the wrong direction. What the hell? Of course I was.
But I make these big projects, and I do things. And I had a potato farm, and then the fucking potato farm, which if you go to my channel, you'll understand a little bit more context on that. But the potato farm failed. Like I said, go check out my that video on my channel. Complaining about slimes and things at Reapshot YT or at Reapshot Gaming. Yeah, I think the full thing would be something like Reapshot www.youtube.com/ReapshotGaming. I would believe would be like the title that it would be using, like the URL or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
But you know. That just is what it is there. But yeah, that's just the joke between us all is that I just hate myself that much that I make nonsensical projects that have no purpose. There's no reason to do that. I don't need the resources behind it. Why do I need to make a full netherite beacon? No. But yes, I'm going to.
Going to anyway. Why? 'Cause can.
Someone told me I can't, and that I shouldn't, and so I basically said, "Fuck you, I'm doing it anyway."
My exact words were, "Bro, what if you mined out a whole chunk?" And here we are.
That started the whole event that led me to.
And now,
doing
if
the things
there's
that I
not
do.
a hole, it's either because that one's not in the server, or there's something wrong.
or there's some other project going on and you should fear. And, like, you'll see the start of them sometimes. I won't, like, finish them all the time. You'll see the start of them, and then I'll come back to it later, and it'll be done. And you'll never know when the fuck that happened. Because you'll have been actively talking to me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And come to check on the hole, walk away for, like, 10 minutes, come back to it completely finished.
This way.
Not knowing what the hell happened. And I'm just off doing something else.
For this. Okay. Anyone tell me if I'm being dumb and blind because I can't see the entry point from my hole, from the holes I've made to... Shut up. Shut up. From the holes I have made with beds. Stop. God damn it.
For anyone who doesn't understand why I'm laughing, you are too young to be here, you need to leave.
Exactly. Anyway, from the explosions, I don't know. That one was not an innuendo, and you fucking know it. Found it. Okay. I couldn't tell where the
just say your
fuck
sentence,
it was
because there's
at.
no way you're saving it now.
Well, I found the thing, and I'll probably go this way. God, I forget how much this fucking shreds, dude.
Just me and my netherite pickaxe. Efficiency 5. My netherite pickaxe, might I add. For anyone who doesn't play Minecraft a lot, or you just don't get netherite tools often, or you just don't play on a world long enough to have that experience, having an efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe on the nether, mining netherrack is just fucking stupid. You click once, and you've broken like 8 blocks in front of you, and it's crazy.
I'm gonna try this full TNT setup method, see how well it works. You can see on my screen I have efficiency 5 on netherite. Holy hell, it burns like butter.
And the beauty of it is because there's so many things of nether gold and quartz, you can just repair the pickaxe if you have mending, which I do have on mine. Very quickly. Imagine if there was a thing called an enchantment called auto smelt, and you just put fortune on it as well, and so it just auto smelts.
For redstone, how far does it go from a point? Is it 8 blocks?
15, I believe.
15. Let me see. Just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But I have no idea what the topic was that I was mentioning.
Oh yeah, you're right. 15 blocks. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of knowledge on Minecraft. What was the topic that I was saying we were gonna go to? Fuck.
You were talking about the fact that that efficiency 5 cuts through like butter.
No. I'm talking about, like, I said we were gonna go to a different topic. Give me a sec. I'm gonna pull up your stream real fast.
Okay, fair.
Because
this is what happens when 2 people with ADHD get into a conversation.
Wow, there's not a whole lot of latency on your stream, by the way. Your stream's pretty.
Hell yeah.
Me, sure.
Ah, shit. I set it up wrong. I know I want those where they were at.
Me actively trying to figure out what the fuck I said.
so I want that there, but... Were you able to find it?
Trying to figure this out.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, I got to the start of when I was talking to Nick about the thing.
I need to be counting from this way after building all of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'll want one here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Put one there. 1, 2,
I'm just trying to figure this out, everyone. I hate when my brain does this.
8. Okay, yeah.
That's what it was. How COVID has affected
That! Yes, okay.
are affected our lives today. As soon as I said COVID restrictions, I heard myself say COVID restrictions. I was like, ooh, that's a topic. I found it. Another form of hyperfixation is trying to figure out something you have said, everyone, and then trying to go on with that topic because you did want to talk about it. You just can't figure out quite what it was. So you hyperfixate until you find it, especially if it's recorded. Alright, so how COVID has affected our lives. Herb, I'm gonna because I've been talking quite a lot, I'm gonna have you take, I mean, it is your stream, I'll have you take the lead on this one.
Okay. Well, one thing that did happen is I mean, you don't know a lot about it because stuff you did, dropped out, yada yada yada, of high school. The way it affected high school for me and a lot of other people. Holy shit, with just that I found 3. Fuck
Nice.
yes. Anyway. But how it affected high school for me and a lot of other high school kids. We never got to see our senior prom, which really sucked. That was the first thing. We never got to see our own senior prom. It got canceled right at the last second. They're like, nope, we can't do it. Sorry. And we were like,
sorry,
yo,
you know this
fuck?
thing you paid for? Too bad.
Well, as seniors, we didn't have to pay for it. So.
Yeah, they did end up having to refund a lot of money because there were a lot of people that were like, hey, yo, we paid a lot of money to be able to do this. And
Yeah, a lot of juniors and it's...
No, I mean,
freshmen.
even the seniors were
Sophomore
parents were suing. Actually, the thing that kind of happened is, I don't think it was yours school specifically,
No,
but
I
a
think
lot of parents were
they
suing
were
other
paying for a
schools.
lot of dresses. That's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
they were
paying
suing
for
the
dresses.
schools for like, yo, you said this was gonna happen. We put all this
bought
money
all the
out
dresses,
for this to happen,
we put all this money in,
then
and you just screwed it. What happened?
completely fucked us over. So like, you're gonna like reimburse that money and the whole load of shit. But anyway, continue.
And another thing that ended up happening was I will admit, had it not been for COVID, I would currently be out living in Colorado. I was supposed to, by the end of my senior year, pack all of my things and head out to Colorado.
I'm a giraffe.
Yes. Mile High State. I was supposed to go there and live there for quite a while, if not the rest of my life, with my biological father. Or, in this case, I suppose I can call him my dad for the. Oh no 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 no.
Highway to the danger zone. Anyway.
Jesus, you didn't see, but fucking. That's why you be careful when you're shredding through the nether.
The lava, yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna go back and watch what just happened, but continue talking.
And, while I'm grateful for everything that I do have here right now, at the same time, I am kind of, you know, in my episode, depresso episode, kind of thing. That's good, bro. Sorry. But I'm kind of in one of those episodes where it's like, I don't want to do anything, you know, everything's already been taken, you know, feeling powerless, basically. The powerless feeling of not being able to do anything that I want to do. And that's not anyone's fault here. Really.
Well,
Mostly, yeah. It's more of life just repeatedly kicking me in the teeth. Besides the point. But still, it's. Hang on, I'm actually gonna set off a giant chunk.
But, you know, basically, you know, from what the sounds of it, COVID just kind of, like, really, like, twisted your life around.
Yes, I had my entire plan. I think, oh, I found some! I was in the wall right fucking next to me. Let me shred just a little bit of this area out. There was another one right fucking next to it! And another one right next to that one!
Pog.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Continuing. But not only me, but a lot of people had their life planned out before they left. You know.
Yeah, I've seen all those memes on TikToks. Oh yeah, out for school 2 weeks later. How was the fall? Because it literally was like that for so many people. It was just like, oh yeah, we have everything planned out. We're one person. COVID hit. Fucking completely changed people and how they function.
Mm-hmm. And it completely destroyed what I would have done.
What do you mean? In some ways, I guess could have been for the better. We don't know. There's no way of knowing, really.
No, there's not, which is what sucks the most. Because would it have been better? Who knows? But
would it have been better? Yes, but no.
Yes, but no, we don't know.
But no. It's one of the many things that Schrodinger had done, the Schrodinger's cat theory. It is relative. It both is and isn't until proven otherwise. Until you open the box and find out, the answer is yes and no. And since we don't know if it would have been worse or better, because we have no way of opening that box, it's both.
Mm-hmm. Because, theoretically, I would have never... Ow! Hoglin bastard! Spawned out of nowhere and tried to fuck me.
He came out and was like, roundhouse!
Roundhouse! But I never would have met, or I never would have gotten together with my current major partner.
Yeah, your current partner and everything, and you really wouldn't have gotten to know me, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. They all just spawned like right here in this chasm that I created with the fucking TNT, and I'm about to make a crater.
I'm actually kind of making record time because I'm like it took me like 5 hours roughly to get 45 or like 58 TNT or 58 ancient debris, and I've already got 40, and it's only been like an hour and a half. So, pretty good. But yeah. To just sum up things for Herp while they're doing this, basically it kind of led along the path that they're on now, to where they're doing content creation and are leaving a horrible job. You know, there's a whole bunch of stories we can tell about that place after they leave.
Yeah.
Just
I
everything like that.
exploded so much I hit bedrock.
Nice, but just getting to the point. But like I was saying though, getting to the point that they're at now. That's basically just where COVID's led.
Yeah.
So now, where has COVID left me? What has it done to my life, and how has it altered my plans, dreams, aspirations? Let me tell you, there's a lot that happened along with COVID hitting. It wasn't just like, it wasn't just COVID hitting me all of a sudden, coming in and being the thing all of a sudden. It was a whole bunch of other shit. So basically, I was in one bad relationship, left it, got with my latest ex. Fuck that piece of shit. Oh my god, I hate them.
Yeah.
And while dating them, COVID hit. That was when that had happened. I dated them for about 1.5 years through. The majority of the relationship was actually during the time COVID was like very rampant, very bad. He kind of took advantage on that, took control of my life. There's a whole bunch of shit there, But that's not the purpose of this. Just how COVID affected me. It didn't really change much. I mean, it did change.
Out of all of that explosion, one piece was exploded. No, look at it. Watch the stream back. Look at that bullshit. Just real quick. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
I'm looking.
All of
Damn,
this.
dude.
All
It's
of
a
this.
big ass fucking crater. Anyway.
One.
But, like I was saying, though, and I think this is where we'll go ahead and finish this shit off. It's gonna be as long. The first episode is not usually as long.
But go ahead and keep going about your with how.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna finish up my thing, and then we can end off after. But you never want to do the episode the first episode too long. We've already been going for almost an hour, so that's pretty good. Pretty good time for. Yeah, we're like 40 some odd minutes in.
Jesus Christ! I didn't even realize how long it had been.
Yeah, about 47 minutes in. But it didn't change too much with my life, because just beforehand because of 2 toxic relationships, my latest ex being one of them, I'd already kind of pushed a lot of people out of my life, and a lot of drama and bullshit that happened with that, which we're not going to get into this episode. That's a whole different topic for a whole different day.
Yeah.
It changed my outlook on a few things, I will say as much, but like, it worsened my mental health. It separated me more from people that I cared about and whatnot. It was really hard on me personally, in some ways, I guess, because the lack of physical contact with people, it was rough and not easy to deal with. Even though I don't particularly enjoy like being in physical contact with people too much, it's still one of those things I need. Like, humans are not made to be like antisocial creatures. Like, humans by nature need other humans to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, COVID really fucked me up. But hey, we're here now. And it's still altering life. The whole mask thing and everything like that, that didn't change anything for me, honestly. I was doing all of that, wearing masks and stuff, long before COVID hit. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you just look at my TikTok and you go back to when it was still Musical.ly, you'll see that I was wearing masks all the way back then. If those videos are still even up, like Lord knows, with TikTok being stupid like that. But so that really didn't affect me much. Didn't really care, rightly. Being asthmatic, you know, like I still didn't care that we had to wear masks, so it wasn't really an issue. Um, I guess it's just because I was used to doing it for like style and personal preference. But it made it easier to avoid people, and in some ways, that's a good thing because, like, you know, I don't want social interaction that I like don't call someone for. So, like, say I get a hold of my friends and I say, hey, let's do something. That's something that I want, that I don't want to go out in public, and then people just talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And COVID kind of made it where people were like, I mean, people didn't do that too often anyway, but COVID made it like basically like it just wouldn't happen at all. You know, people would not come up and talk to you because they were afraid they were going to get the coronavirus, the COVID-19, and they were going to get super sick and they were going to die or stuff. And like, so it made it in some ways easier for me to go out in public because I had social anxiety. But I mean, other than, like, you know, when we were able to actually go out in public after a lot of the main restrictions were uplifted, it didn't change much. At that point, you know, like Kurt mentioned, I've made some mistakes and fucked up in the past. So I was out of school at that point. Already had my GED, which is General Education Diploma, I believe is what it stands for.
Yes.
Which is actually funny. It's because it's harder to take than the high school score 40. It's a fact that a lot of people don't know, but it is.
3 more. So I'm at 10.
But you know, that is what it is, though. But I made those mistakes, led my life here, so I was already kind of really antisocial, didn't go out and talk to people, didn't do much, stayed inside most of the time. So it really didn't change anything. I mean, it made a lot of the issues with social anxiety and being antisocial a lot worse because I was removed from being able to talk to people. But other than that, you know, it didn't really affect me too bad, I guess. You know, just more or less what happened during it. It wasn't really related to it. Is what is really affected me then. But I'm gonna throw an outro for this episode. Her next episode we're gonna have we'll have you outro. We'll just alternate on that.
Yeah. Real quick.
So
bang.
You know.
Ow. Still on fire. That hurt.
But anyway, so everyone, if you enjoyed this episode of Brain Dumping Dave, which is the first episode, our pilot episode of a new podcast. It's going to be between me and Herp. We might bring other people on, like Emerald Art, or potentially other people. Maybe we can snag a Mr. July in on this.
Maybe we could snag a Mr. July. Go check out Mr. July, shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. Mr. Space July, capital M-R space, capital J-U-L-Y.
Owie! Owie!
He's an awesome streamer. He plays a lot of Apex and does a lot of other things. He's slowly working into making more just normal video content, but streaming as well. So go check him out. He's awesome.
There's one I missed. Oh.
And everything. But yeah.
Ending on a good note. We got another one, boys.
Oh, yeah,
Continuing.
boys. Woo!
But
baby,
if you did enjoy
for.
the video, hey, that's what I'm waiting for. Woo!
That's my best Moist Critical impression I've ever had, honestly.
Yes.
Woo! Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. Woo! I feel like that was pretty good on my part. I don't know.
Damn it, I'm on fire again. Anyway.
But if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed this episode, everyone, by the way, mentioning Markiplier, I don't know if that's what you said. We also have another podcast planned that will only be me, Herp, and Emerald's Art. Probably going to be hosted on Emerald's channel. I won't be taking part in like recording of any of the other podcasts except my own that I might start later, which is going to be called Reeps Peeps, which I finally have. I told you I've been working on the name for it. I finally have decided it's Reeps Peeps. That's what we're going to go with. And it's where I talk with my friends and I bring other people on.
But we are going to be making a it's a big joke one, kind of. It's going to be called...
It's basically a huge joke. It's on because there's a podcast called Distractable that Markiplier, Muskrim, and Lord Minion 777 or Mark, Bob, and Wade, as their
classic trio,
more commonly known. The classic trio, honestly. called Distractable. We, us three, Herp, me, Reefshot, and Emerald's Art, are going to be working, potentially, this is not a confirmed, but potentially working on a podcast called Abstractable.
Essentially, we're just going to be kind of
of
copying it, and it's just a full joke. If you want to see that, please let us know.
Like, it's not going to be the whole entire podcast that we do. We're obviously going to do other things as it grows and evolves, but the whole joke behind it is that we're copying them, but not plagiarizing them, if that makes sense.
We're
taking heavy inspiration, and we're just playing off of the joke. It's all a joke. It's all funny.
It's all ha-ha funny jokes.
Now, of course, this is just our idea. I will go through and more thoroughly look through and see if that is a name anywhere, see if we're not stealing something from somebody, just making out sure and stuff. But, if you all enjoyed this video, this episode of Brain Dumping with Dave, let us know down in the comments below. Hit the like button if that means anything, because YouTube's a little weird. And leave a comment, what do you want us to talk about next? This is Reefshot.
And Herp Derp.
And we will catch all of you on the flip side.